Okay. Today is a day of doing a lot of different things and trying some new things. So I'm excited to be here with you. Let me go ahead and get us started everywhere. Okay. I think we're actually rolling. That's amazing. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It just turned noon. So I am so excited to welcome you to today's Freedom Friday live co-planning session so that you can set your next week up for success in just 1 hour. By the end of this hour, you will have celebrated your wins, set up your schedule for next week, and hopefully have a good plan to wind down for the weekend. And that gets me crazy excited. I'm so excited to be here and be here with you every single Friday at noon here on YouTube. And now we're over on Instagram and Facebook too. So if Facebook is your favorite platform, or if YouTube is your favorite platform, wherever it is, come on and join me so that you could do this co-planning session with me as well. So today I wanted to do a quick talk about one of the things that some of my community has talked about, has struggled with as we've been doing these sessions every week. So the question was, what's the hardest part to staying on track to your goals? You know, we can create goals, we can create a vision board, we can create this amazing plan, but if you don't stay on track to it, it's so easy for you to end up at the end of the year and say, God dang it, it still didn't work. And I don't want that for you. So I wanted to make sure I talked a little bit about what does it look like for you to do something a little bit different. So there's like two different schools of thoughts, two different kinds of people that I feel like this is applying to. And one is that if you're new to setting goals, it's probably the hardest part for you is probably procrastination, because 9 times out of 10, you've been in this place where you're going with the flow for so long, and now you want to have structure, and your body, your insides, everything about you is screaming, no, I don't want structure. I want to just keep faking to make it. I get that. It can be really hard. And I also want to tell you there's beauty on the other side. And I do have a solution that I think will help you. But on the flip side, if that's not you, the other kind of person that this could apply to is that you're a very highly motivated, highly accomplished, like you're used to getting things done, and yet you still get to the end of the year and you're like, crap, I'm still not where I thought I was going to be at the end of the year. I would say you are the person who struggles with being caught in the weeds. And I have to tell you, I've been both of these people. The person that at the beginning of really getting used to having structure and how I plan my day and plan my week, that it was really hard and I would kind of avoid it a little bit because it always seemed like there was something else that I could do. Oh, hey, Mimi. So glad that you could join today. Always excited when you can join. So yes, you could be that person where, you're struggling with procrastination. But on the flip side, you could also be the person who is not struggling with motivation, but you're stuck in the weeds, meaning that the grass around you is so tall, you can't see that far in front of you, and you haven't gotten used to zooming out and looking at the big picture and then zooming back in and looking at the details and getting work done. And so you still end up in the place that you don't necessarily want to be. Again, I've been both of those people. That's why I can describe it this way, because I'm describing it from experience. So here is the solution that I have found that works best for me. The thing that has changed it for me is getting accountability and using reflection and strategic planning. So accountability, meaning that I'm telling someone, hey, this is the goal that I'm working on. And they're the kind of person that will come back to me and say, hey, girl, how has that been going? Are you still on track? I mean, I don't know exactly what you need to do, but what can I do to support you? It's just the person who is willing to show up and ask you questions about your progress, So there's that person, okay? You need accountability. The second thing I would say you need is to use reflection. Every month, I like to reflect on the last month. I decide what are my goals, the steps, like the sub goals that I'm going to do to get me to success for the, like how I'm going to move forward for the next month. And I also take some time to look at how was the last month? Has that worked well? Have I done the things that I needed to do? Did I prioritize my month as I said I would? And so that's the second thing that I need. So accountability, reflection, and I like to do mine on a monthly basis. And then there's also strategic planning and really learning how to pivot. And that for me looks like taking time to say, okay, this is what I accomplished this week. Did I actually prioritize the things that I need to do? Or did I get a little stuck on all the other little things that just seem fun or seem easy to accomplish rather than leaning into the hard thing and recognizing that the hard thing was the most important thing. So that was where I needed to put my time. And when I take a second or when I take a chance to look at that on a weekly basis, I'm able to stay on track. So when I use these three things, accountability, monthly reflection, and this weekly scheduling and pivoting, I am so much better to look at the end of the year and say, I have actually accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish. And this is amazing. So that's my tips for you. If you have been struggling to stay on track with your goals, I hope that you'll find some resources to get accountability, to do reflection, and to get really good at strategic planning and pivoting. And if you struggle with that, this is the place for you to be. This is all about building a community where we hold each other accountable. I want to know, what did you work on last week? How did it go? How's your time and energy budget going? How did your weekly planning going? Were you good at pivoting? What wins did you have? Like, these are all the things that we talk about. So that's what we're going to do over this next hour. We're going to celebrate your wins, and that's getting us to reflect over the week. We're going to set up your schedule for next week. That's setting you up to do strategic planning and pivoting. And then as far as monthly reflection goes, we do a monthly reflection every month. We started this past February. It's going to be every last day of the month at noon. Now, of course, there are going to be times where that is going to fall on a Saturday or Sunday. If you don't want to do it on that day, don't worry. The live will be recorded. You could come back and do it then. It's okay. I'm not judging. I understand. But hopefully that feels like I really want us to be set up to accomplish the things that we want, especially because this is really geared towards Black women who are corporate professionals and entrepreneurs. We are the women who are always going hard. But I want us to have the space to create the lifestyle that we want, because even though we're working hard, we know that we actually want lifestyle freedom. We want to be able to live a life full of joy and not have to carry the weight of everything. And so this is how I even create that lifestyle, by tweaking and using boundaries, and week by week getting 1% better at not making work the tool and not making work the goal. It becomes the tool and actually just living my life. So that's what we're doing here. That's the goal. And this is the way that we're going to do it. So I'm done. That was my little tip for before we got started. Now I'm excited to go ahead and get into what we actually do every Friday here, which is we're starting with celebrating our wins. So take a second and celebrate your wins. Tell me what your wins are. Put them in the chat. I would love to share them with everybody so we could celebrate with you. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to take a second to celebrate or to share my wins with you, so then we can get into celebrating yours, okay? Super excited. All right, so a couple wins. Last week I took a workcation to LA. I got there last Tuesday and I left this Tuesday, and I'm celebrating that because sometimes in the midst of wanting to get things done, I can put off some of my favorite things. I will put off traveling. I will put off trying new restaurants. I'll put off hanging out because I'm like, oh, I got so much to do. I got to hurry up and do it. And that is the tension between this work-life balance that I constantly struggle with. And since you're here, I would imagine you do too. Um, so yes, I'm very proud of myself for saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to LA. I'm going to enjoy my time. When there's sleep, since I've got jet lag anyway, I will get up and do the work that I need. But then when my friends are up and we've got things that we want to do, I'm not going to feel bad for it. I'm going to go and enjoy it. And I did exactly that. So one of my favorite things from LA, we took a little hike up to the Hollywood sign and I took some pictures, and that was a lot of fun. I will make sure that I post that in the community or on my stories so that you can see those pictures. I really enjoyed that. You know, I lived in LA for 2.5 years, and there were a lot of touristy things that I never got around to doing. I think it's something about when you go to live somewhere, you just are like, whatever, I live here, I'll get to it eventually. So I was glad that I actually took that. And my friend, she was a great host, took me up there to that hike, figured out how we would get there. We had a great time, talked and laughed the whole time. It was great. So I'm so excited that I did that. That's one of my wins. My other win is that I'm grateful for my community. I'm grateful for not a lot of people could say that they have friends all over the world. And I literally have friends all over the world. So I'm really lucky that I get to go visit them and just hang out, and it gets to be my life. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Oh snap, you hike. There's this. Yes, I hiked to you can hike to the Hollywood sign, which is actually crazy, but super cool. So here's the thing. When I say hike to the Hollywood sign, there is like a fenced in boundary that you're not supposed to cross. Now, there are people who do that. I was not that person, okay? I got really close, but not close enough to touch the actual sign. So let me clarify that. I didn't do anything illegal. Okay. Let me see. What's the other comment here? I'll get to it eventually is so real. When you live in a place with tourist attractions, I know there's still things in Charlotte that I need to do. I still haven't been to Savannah or Charleston after being nearby for 4 years. It's so easy, right? It's so easy to keep saying, you know, I just live here. I don't even, it's home. I don't even need to take time. But I mean, isn't that some of the reasons why we move to the places that we move? Because we want to explore the things. Otherwise, you could have just went there on a trip. I'm trying to find that happy medium between the two, because it's really easy to keep saying, "Oh, I'll get to it." I actually on my vision board, I put a list of places in my like secondary goals. Here's a list of places in Charlotte that I want to try. And on on Instagram, anytime I see a reel of like, okay, here's something great to do in Charlotte, I've been saving it to a folder that said things to do in Charlotte. So like on these Fridays when I'm looking for wind down things to do, I can go back to that folder in my Instagram and say, oh, what's the couple posts that I saved a couple weeks ago of things that I could do in Charlotte, and try to pick from those. So I hope you take that as a little tip of something that would be a way to keep track of different things that you can do when you're trying to wind down and you don't know what to do. So yes. Okay. So then my third win, I got it written down today, because that's the other thing I'm trying to do. Remember 2 weeks ago, we talked about, write down your wins as you go through the week. I wasn't super great at doing it through the week, but I did take some time before we got on the call and I wrote some things down. So this last one says, I got a lot of great things going for my business, which is too, the business has been going really good lately, but I'm super grateful for the lifestyle freedom that I created. And the reason I'm super grateful for that, my mom called me this week and she did a move, and my mom is turning about 79, 80. She did this move and she did it by herself. And she told me how much of a mess her apartment is and how the boxes were too close to the stove, so she couldn't open it, so she couldn't cook. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go help my mom. And if I would have just taken a vacation with a traditional job and not had any vacation time left, or not had the freedom to workation in a different location, then I would be stuck. Either I would be, going to help my mom and knowing that I'm not going to get paid because I would have to take that time off without pay because I don't have the vacation days, or not being able to go get my mom, to go help my mom. And I'm very grateful that I don't have to choose between those things anymore. I'm able to say I can go help my mom and I can still work. So I can still get the things done and still spend time with her. Like the lifestyle things that I would usually do in the evening here or going to help her, the way that I would move my schedule around, I can still do those things while I'm with her next week. So on Monday, I already rented a car. On Monday, I'm going to be driving to Pittsburgh to spend some time with my mom and getting her settled with her new apartment. And I'm grateful that I have the lifestyle freedom to be able to do that. I haven't always had that freedom. So yeah, that's my third win for the week. So super, super excited about that. Okay. So then let's see what we got. What are the wins that we have from you guys? Let me look at this one. This says, I have an idea. I like that idea of having a folder of things to do in your area. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. Yes, it's one of my favorite ways to keep track of things that I will want to do in the future, because there's always great things on Instagram. Like I have another one that's for travel, like different parts, different cabins in North Carolina that there might be some time. I'm actually was thinking about it today. I'm probably going to take maybe a week or two where I could just go to a remote cabin somewhere. And I can just bust out some things that I need to get done so that it can put me far enough ahead to feel like I'm not behind and to get some things done where I can focus. But then when I come back, I don't have to feel straddled in two different parts of life. I know that I've gotten the things that I needed to get done for work done so that I can truly enjoy the life and things that I want to do when I come back. So, regardless of whether I do that in a cabin, so I've been I keep a list of things when, Instagram is always showing beautiful places to travel. So like mountain cabin, somewhere on a beach, or even if it's doing house sitting, I'm keeping all of those options available, and I'm starting to schedule out when I'm going to take those times so that I just don't keep putting it off. Because as we talked about, it's so easy to keep putting it off. So I'm working on intentionally not doing that. So yes, I love that you love that idea. Steal it. I think that's great. Steal it for sure. Yes, I believe it's a beautiful thing too. I agree. Wins for the week. I love it. Okay, so here's Mimi's wins. My wins for the week. Number 1, doing my first collab on YouTube. Congratulations. I can't believe I missed that. I'm so sad. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Thank you so much for sharing that, but congratulations. That's so fun. Okay. And then number 2 was signing up for a day trading course. Interesting. That's going to be an interesting thing. Tell me what made you get into that. Man, are you going to share that on your channel too? That'd be really cool. Okay. And then your third win for the week is attending a virtual Spanish conversation meetup, even though I didn't understand a lot. Yes, but that's bold that you got out there and even attended, because girl, I don't think that I would be confident enough to do that, because I know I would have so many things go over my head. You know what? I love that. I'm actually going to add that to my list of things to do, because I really do need to practice my Spanish. So maybe what I'll do is I'll attend, but I'll also have my phone on the side with Google Translate translating as I go, so I could try to follow the conversation, because my Spanish is not good enough to keep up. I love those ideas. Great wins. Such great wins for the week. Congratulations. I love it. Okay. So good. So I'm glad that we got through our wins for the week. And I'm glad that we had some really great wins. Every week, I love celebrating. It's so important for us to celebrate our wins first, because it reminds us that we're making progress. And if we don't remind ourselves that we're making progress, it's very easy to get caught up in the monotony and lose motivation. I think that is one of the key things to keep us motivated, is to stop and celebrate your wins. But a lot of people skip that. They kind of think, I don't have time to stop. Lies. Because the truth is, if you don't stop and celebrate your wins, you will get to a point that you stop and you don't start again because you've lost your motivation. I'm gonna have to write that down. That was a good word that I didn't plan. If you don't stop and celebrate your wins as you go along, when you finally stop, you will stop and not start again because you have lost your motivation. Let's not do that to ourselves. We can actually stop and celebrate our wins, and that's what's going to keep us motivated to keep going. So I'm so glad that we do that every week. So let me see. Thank you. Marissa Price made it so easy to do. It felt like normal conversation. Oh, that's good. Is Marissa Price, is she another YouTuber? That's amazing. I have to make sure. I mean, if that's the case, then maybe I won't feel so worried, a little nervous about or a little insecure about doing that. Because if she makes it that easy, then I definitely need to do it. I started learning Italian and Spanish, and I haven't actually finished either because they were all mixed. But it was partially because I needed to keep practicing. So maybe that sounds like a good option for me. And then let me see. The Google Translate as you go actually makes a lot of sense. I was over there writing down so many unknown words and phrases in my notebook. Definitely couldn't keep up. Girl, I can only imagine. I don't even think I would have been able to write it down. You know what else I probably would have done? So I have one phone that I use for recording and another one that's like a secondary phone for recording. It's like an old phone. I would probably record the conversation on one phone or record the conversation one way so that I can go back and listen to it and try to translate it and pull out the things that I want to remember or want to learn from the conversation. Because again, it's so much happening so fast. I can't take all of that in so fast. I'm proud of you for even finding ways to like still keep this going. Like, man, that is amazing. And you said, it be like that sometimes, girl. You right. It definitely be like that sometimes. So, I'm glad that you've been figuring it out. Again, so proud of you of taking a step to go do that. Because as you can see, I'm like, ooh, girl, I don't know if I could go that far. It definitely would put me out of my comfort zone. And then you said, yep, she focuses on healing for Black women, whether that's from toxic jobs or oppressive system, this oppressive system as a whole. You should consider doing a collab with her too. I would love that. Listen, let me write that down right now. Marissa Price collab. Yes, girl. So I've been starting to work on sending out. I have like a whole list of people that I want to collab with. And I love that I'm always finding more people that I want to collab with. So thank you for sharing that. It sounds like someone right up my alley, someone that I should, definitely speak with. So I can't wait. That's amazing. Whew. Okay. So now that we celebrated our wins, now it's time for us to move into the section of this planning session where we start reflecting on what things did we not accomplish from this week so that we can be prepared of what we're going to schedule for next week. So that being said, you are going to have 10 minutes to go ahead and 10 minutes to go ahead and pull out the list of things that you did not finish for this week. And you're going to use that to, let me move some things around here. That's okay. If you're on Instagram, you're only seeing half of my screen because, you're in vertical mode. So you're not going to see all the details. That's why it's best for you to go ahead and come over to YouTube so that you can see me. You see I'm over here? Oh, well. Well, next time you'll be able to see me because you'll come onto YouTube. But either way, for everybody that's on YouTube, you're going to see me working through pulling out my list of things that I haven't accomplished, the things on my list that I didn't get done for this week. And that's the same thing that you should be doing. You're going to have 9 minutes to pull together all the things that you didn't finish on your schedule this week. And I also want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's okay. It's okay that you didn't get everything done. That's real. It's normal. Like, that's life. And now is going to be the time to decide, how do you want to move forward with those things going forward? Okay. So let me get my connection cord. I did it again this week where I don't have the cord ready. It happens whenever I move locations. I don't have everything set up. So let me luckily I just organized my cords so I know exactly where where everything needs to be. All right. Let me do this and this. All right, so you're looking at my iPad screen and I am opening up a new window. And you guys could be doing this. So if you haven't, I haven't said this yet. If you have not yet done this, you want to go to my website and download the worksheet. Yes, download the worksheet that I have that I share with everyone so that they could do this exercise at the same time. So you'll go to that website is called freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. It's a free worksheet. It's going to give you all the exercises that we do here on this call so that you can do them right here with us. And so as you can see, I'm just duplicating my worksheet and I'm putting today's date on it, which is today's the 9th, the 8th, 3/8/24. And I'm about to take some time and fill out my worksheet. Now, I could sit here and explain all the details of how to do it, but really the worksheet is self-explanatory, and I want to make sure you get these last 6 minutes to be able to go ahead and do the work. So I'm going to keep talking because I do want to explain it, but if you are a person who already knows what you're doing, go ahead and mute me so that I'm not like distracting you. And then when the timer is up, come back on and we will move on to the next step. For the people who are new to this and, this is a different exercise than you've ever done before, what we're doing is we're going through our reflection time a little bit extended. So you're going to go into whatever planner that you use and you're going to look at what task did you set yourself up to do this week that you did not accomplish. So if this is your first week doing this reflection with us, you might not have had a lot of tasks actually scheduled in last week. You might have just had them as a rolling list in your mind, and you might remember what they were, or you might not. But if you are, if you're that person, then you might want to just take a second here and jot down what are the things that you kind of had swimming around in your mind that you thought that you would do and actually didn't get a chance to do. Or if you are the person who does actually use a planner and you write down the tasks and all the list of things that you need to do every week, and you can see what things you didn't get done, first make sure you go and highlight the things that you did get done, and then go back and look at the things that didn't get done. And you could either add that to this list here, or actually what I really want you to do, this is more for the person who didn't really have a list to start with. You want to write those things down here. But for the people who, definitely had a list and could see your planner, then I want you to go over to this page and I want you to decide what is the next thing, like how are you going to move forward with those tasks that didn't get done? So as you can see, this is a copy of some of the tasks that I had from last week that didn't get accomplished. So I put them in the appropriate boxes of how I want to schedule them or pivot in doing those things for next week, okay? So if it was something that it was important to me, but it wasn't crazy urgent, I just need to decide, is this something that needs to be put further down on the priority list? Does it need to be taken off the list? Like, I need to make a decision. Is this actually important to me? Or is it something that it's a nice to have and I just needed to take it off my list? The other thing could be, what if it was not important or not urgent? There's a good thing about that. The good chance is you probably need to delete it. If it's not important and it's not urgent, you need to delete it. Okay. That means it was a nice to have. So I actually need to update that. That should say, let me just show you that right here. We're just going to take that out and say delete. Okay. And then if you are the person that, had some things that were important and urgent, but you didn't get to them, maybe you're having a hard time prioritizing things over the little things. Because sometimes it's a little easier for us to say, oh, I'll just do the little easy thing first. And then what happens is we spend so much time doing on the little things that don't actually move the needle, rather than taking the time to prioritize the things that are probably harder and probably take more mental space, but they're the things that's also going to help us quantum leap. Okay. So if that was something, then you want to put those things in that first box on the right, and you definitely want to schedule those first and foremost when we get into the scheduling part. And then if the last box is if you have some things on your list that were not important, but they are urgent. So you need to decide, are those things that they were urgent because it was urgent to you, or was it urgent to someone else? 9 times out of 10, those are things that someone else needed and someone else asked you to do, but they weren't as important to you. Those are things that you're going to need to delegate back to that person. Or, maybe you say, hey, I can help you, but I can't be responsible for this. I can't be held accountable. And so here's some resources to help you get that done, or here's some suggestions on how you do that. But I'm going to give this back to you. Okay. And that's us learning how to be better with our boundaries and giving those responsibilities back to the person who actually should be managing them, and not us, because that person's not us. Okay. All right. So that's what these 4 boxes are. So make sure you take a second and go ahead and decide where the tasks that you did not accomplish from this week, where do they fall in these 4 boxes? Because it's going to help you make decisions on how you move forward with all of those things. Okay? All right. You got just about a minute to finish that. All right. Oh, here's a great comment. Let me move this. You know what? I'm going to move it down here since it's hard to see. I'm going to have to switch some things up, but that's okay. It's going to be great. It says, I'm definitely guilty of focusing more on the little easy things than the larger things that may be more intimidating. Right. Because the easy things, we think, oh, I could get so many things off my list if I just hurry up and do the little easy things. But it's not the little easy things that's going to make the life-changing things happen. We got to focus on the life-changing things first, because that's really what's going to change our life, right? That's why it's in the title, rather than trying to focus on the little things first. Do the little things in between. Do the little things when your brain is tired and you don't need to use a lot of mind space. To set up time for deep work first, to get these big things done first, and then go to the other things. Okay. I love that. Thanks so much for sharing. All right. So now we're moving to, and you can see I have Instagram up on my other screen. So that's all the things that we have. I love all of the streams that we have going on here. But now I'm going to move into, let me see. Now I'm going to move into my weekly planning. So I'm going to put Sunsama on my screen, and I have so many screens open. Can you tell? Yes, let me do that. And if you missed this week's video, I put out the 4th step in creating your vision board. So excited. Excuse me. I ended up doing 2 different versions of my vision board. So I did an extended version that was more about all the different pictures. And like I did the version that's like, I got all the different pictures and things that I want to accomplish this year on the board. But then I also did this, really a refined, simple version that just gave me, here's a theme that I want to focus on for the year. And the reason I did that was because when I went and looked at my vision board on my phone, I remember I keep saying I like things simple, and it was too many things happening on my screen. It was just too much. So I put my vision board in my manifestation journal that I look at every single day. So I'm still looking at my vision board every day, but on my screen, I am only looking at the primary theme that I'm doing for the year because it simplifies it for me. So make sure you go back and check out that video. It was a really good video. I had some technical difficulties with recording since I was recording from LA in a cute little cafe. I love the cafe, but then the audio was a little off, and so was the editing, all the things. Okay, but we made it through. We still got it posted, so I'm very glad about that. And the video is still amazing. It's still great. So go ahead and check that out despite all of those things. Let me know your thoughts. I would look forward to hearing how it's going for you, okay? All right, so that being said, we're getting into the planning for today. So the way that I like to do this, I use Sunsama. Sunsama is my planner of choice. And the reason I love it is because, remember I said, make a list of all the things that you didn't accomplish for this year. Well, Sunsama makes that easy for me, or excuse me, not for this year, for this week. Sunsama makes that easy for me because everything that I didn't accomplish for this week, it gets put right here on, a list. It gets pushed over to today, and it puts it at the top and says, hey, you didn't accomplish these the last couple days, or you should work on these first. And so it's my list of all the things that I didn't accomplish is right here at the top, and I can use this to start rescheduling it for the week. So I can drag and drop these tasks onto different days, new scheduled days. Excuse me, my sinuses are all crazy today. So I can put that onto new scheduled days. And then from there, I can start scheduling it in my calendar the way that I always do every single week. So because I already have that list, I'm just going to look through and decide, are there things that I need to get rid of? So I definitely need to do that. I think this is from today, but I ate my lunch already. So I'm going to take that off. Workday shutdown. Okay. A lot of these things I still need to do. Some of them are recurring tasks like this one. So I'm actually going to delete this because there's going to be a new version of that on Monday. You can already see it's up here. So I'm going to delete the one from this week. I didn't get it done. And then I am going to leave this as well, even though it wasn't finished. I had some issues with my scheduler, so I still want to do this, and I want to make sure that I remember to do it for the content for last week. And then I want to make some time to review my time and energy budget and make some updates, some pivots. Yeah, so all of these things that are still on my list, I still want to do. So I am going to start dragging and dropping where I'm going to reschedule those in this week. And I also want to decide, what is my objective for next week going to be? Remember, I'm traveling to Pittsburgh on Monday, and I'm traveling back from Pittsburgh the Sunday after. So I need to make sure that I'm not overbooking myself or planning myself to be doing things while I'm going to be physically traveling, like while I'm going to be driving. I might be able to listen to some content or listen to a course, but for the most part, I'm not going to be able to work during those times. So I need to make sure I block those off. So I'm actually going to do that first. And remember, this is about not only doing the things that, we think we want to do, this is not only about doing the things we think we should do, like actually being realistic about the time that we have to do these things and giving ourselves the freedom to say, you know what, I can't do it all. There's physically not enough time to do it all. So why am I holding myself accountable or holding myself to a standard to do more than it's obviously possible to do? It is not possible to do that. I'm not going to do that to myself. Excuse me. I'm going to blow my nose really quickly. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just blocking those days off, because I'm not going to have, even once I get there, I'm going to be getting settled. I'm not going to have time to do it. And on the day I'm leaving, I'm not going to have time to do it. So that's going to be, let me look. So that's Monday. Nope, go back. On Monday, these are the things that I would usually do on Monday, and I haven't scheduled them yet. So I believe I'm picking up my rental car at 8. So I'm going to put this in here. It's probably going to take a half an hour, I'm going to guess. And then I'm going to say drive to Pittsburgh, PA. And that is an 8-hour drive. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get there hopefully around 4. Hopefully right before rush hour traffic, because that would suck. So let's say 4:30 p.m. Block that off. Do not repeat. Okay. So I got that saved for Monday. The one thing I might still try to do on Monday once I get there, well, I'm obviously still going to do my morning routine, so I could still do that. Okay. And then this is going to get pushed back a week. Moved. Actually, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Crap. Undo. I can fix that. I move that to backlog. Actually, yeah, let's move that to backlog right now. It is not the most important. Okay. So let's do that. Workday startup routine. I might take a look at this very quickly on Monday morning. And I'm going to make sure there's no emergencies from the things that from the other business that I work with. But, something just moved. I hate when that happens. There we go. All right, so as you can see with Sansama, you could really just drag and drop. Now, Instagram people, you know what? I love y'all, but I realize I'm not completely set up for you guys to see what's going on in my screen. So the main thing that you should be doing at this time is setting up your schedule for next week. That's what we're doing right now. I'm just on YouTube. You're able to see how I'm using Sansama to do that. And I'm showing you some tricks and trades, but also you should still be setting up your schedule as well. Okay. Okay. So then once I get there, I'm going to need some time to get set up. I'm taking this off. I'll stop. Oh, I'm going to have to plan where I'm going to do lunch so that I can still get vegan food. So I need to make sure I do some research about that before I get on the road on Monday. I'm still going to do my workday shutdown. And I'm probably going to take some time and do a little bit of work for this on Monday. So that'll probably be more around this time. Discard this. I'm not going to go to Kizomba on Monday because I'm not going to be here. And I'm probably not going to do these workouts if I'm being honest with myself. So I'm going to delete those. Video editing. Man, video editing is going to be a hard go for Monday. So I'm going to have to bust my butt and do that on Sunday so that my video can still go out next Wednesday. So as you can see, I'm able to see where my roadblocks and where my issues with my timing are going to happen because I'm taking some time to think about it beforehand. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do 5 hours of video editing on Monday if I'm driving 8 hours. There's no way. There's not enough hours unless I didn't sleep. And let me tell you, I am worth nothing if I don't sleep, okay? I have to sleep. So I'm making sure that I spend time to do that, okay? All right. So then the track funnel metrics, that's about 10 minutes worth of time. I definitely want to do that. So I'm going to make time to do that on Monday once I get there. I'm not going to do that immediately once I get there, but I am going to do it. This I'm not going to do. And this I'm actually going to push to Tuesday. So now I've got everything that's set up for Monday, or that was in my checklist for Monday, scheduled. And I made some really important decisions about what things can actually fit in my time on Monday versus just realistically, I'm not going to have time to do. All right. So now I'm moving to Tuesday. Excuse me. Again, what I love about this is that, oops, I need to fix that. I realize I still have an out of office for the other job that I work. I need to make sure that I let them know that I'm not going to be out of office next week. So, I was supposed to have a trip for my birthday to Mexico next week, but the trip got moved back to May, which is fine. We still got the trip. So I'm turning 40 in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be celebrating my birthday literally 2 weeks because it's on a Friday. So yay for me. So yes, that trip has gotten moved back, but that's great. There's absolutely no problem with that. Okay. This is going to be moved to backlog as well. So I've showed you how to use Sensama to schedule your week. You're going to use your Google Calendar, your Passion Planner, your Focus Planner, Full Focus Planner, whatever, whether it's a digital calendar or a physical analog calendar. This is the time that you should be spending some time to go back and look at what is your to-do list, and scheduling the tasks that you need to do throughout the week. That should include your regular life systems, like your morning routines, your evening routines, your workday startup and workday shutdown routines, in addition to your regular rest routines and your regular fun routines. So making sure that you get enough sleep, making sure that you have time to daydream, and also making sure that you have some fun things planned. So I make sure I don't live without a minimum of 7 hours a day to sleep. So I have all of that scheduled in. I have daydreaming times in the evening where I don't have to use my brain for anything or anybody for that matter. And then I also have my dance classes, or my main ways that I like to have fun during the week, because it allows me to get out of my brain and into my body. So, those are things that I have scheduled throughout the week as well. And in addition to that, I always try to be a little creative with what my wind down is going to be for the weekend. Now, it's going to be in Pittsburgh next week. I don't have an idea I'm going to have to do some research of that. Like, what am I going to do? Or maybe just ask my sister. My sister will probably be a good person to talk. But I probably will just be hanging out with family. Maybe we'll just play some cards. We have a conversation to have with my mom about, getting where all of her papers for, where's her will, where's her life insurance, especially while she's moving. So I got to make sure that we take some time and have that conversation. So that's probably what next Friday is going to be. That sounds like a really serious conversation, and it is, but we're probably going to do it over some really good food and a game of cards. I don't drink, but my family does, so they probably have a glass of wine or whatever. But yeah, so that's the other thing that's probably what's going to happen next Friday. And then Saturday, I'll be preparing to leave to come back here and making sure everything is done before I go. So those are the things that's what I'm thinking, the overall of what next week is going to be. So let me see. Add to broadcast. Oh, Mimi says, woohoo, do you have any birthday rituals? Birthday rituals. Well, I will say the one thing that I love to do for my birthday every single year, I love to travel for my birthday. And so that's why the trip to Mexico is a thing. And since it's my 40th birthday, I'm actually traveling a lot more this year in general. But the main thing that I like to do for my birthday is I like to go somewhere with a bag full of bathing suits and books, and that's it. And I just sit on the beach and read and relax the whole time. That's literally my favorite thing to do on my birthday. It's so chill. There's other things that I will do. So that's the other, especially for this being the year of my 40th birthday, it just feels, no other birthday has felt like I've been moving into a new season like this one has, but I'm feeling it. And I'm okay with that. I feel like it's time to move into a new season. So I'm feeling really good about that. So, Traveling is definitely something that I'm doing more this year. That's already started. I went to Atlanta at the end of January. I just came back from LA. I'm going to Detroit at the end of the month. I'm going to Texas sometime in April. I'm going to Cozumel in May. And then we're going to the Essence Festival over 4th of July. That's just the next 6 months. So there's a lot of travel going on this year, and I love it. It is literally my favorite thing to do. So it's just fun for me. And a lot of times I'm doing workations as I'm doing it, or you know what I mean? So it feels like I love change. I was talking about this to my friend when I was in LA. I love change. And it can also be a little hard when you own a business. I think I'm going to have to do a video about that, trying to keep your rituals when you're in different places. Now, I will also say it is because I have my rituals that I keep on track with so many things, because I have my systems, because I kind of equate systems and rituals to be the same thing. That's what keeps me on track with a lot of things. So yeah, we'll have to talk about that more. But thank you so much for asking. I'm excited about it. We'll have to celebrate. We'll be here on my birthday, so we'll celebrate it in a couple of weeks. Okay. Yes, all the yeses. I take that for sure. Yes, ma'am. Bathing suits and books needs to be on some of the merch. I love that. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. Let me write that down too. Because that is me. That is literally how I like to do it. And here's the thing: even if I'm workationing with bathing suits and books, I'm still good with that. Like, as long as that's why I loved living in Costa Rica, because I mean, I was there for a year, so I worked the whole time. But the beauty of being able to work on a beach just made it 10 times better. Like, it's a good thing. It's my vibe for sure. Bathing suits and books. Okay. All right. So we're just about out of time to finish setting up our schedule for the week. Because I'm describing and telling you guys how to do this, I always spend time after the call finishing it up. I want to make sure if you have any questions, please let me know, because I want this to be something that you can finish right here on the call. So if you have any questions, please, take a second and let me know. I would love to answer them. I'm going to make sure I check over on Instagram and see how that's going. Okay, good. Okay. The one thing that I love about Ecamm Live is that anytime I get any questions or anything on either platform, it puts it all in one place. So just making sure everything is working. That's my little plug for Ecamm Live. If you do live streams, if you record videos, if you do anything like any multimedia stuff, I have found that Ecamm Live has been an amazing tool for me. I know there's some others like StreamYard and all of those other things, but I think I prefer Ecamm Live because I use a Mac. And so it's a desktop app and it's been great for me. So we got just about 28 seconds. I am going to, again, finish this when we get off the call. But I want you to take just the last 20 seconds and make sure you have everything all scheduled out for your week. I don't know why my nose is so stuffy. I hope it means this cold is finally going away. That'd be great. Okay. So we just finished setting up our week for success. And now it's time to get into the wind down part of our schedule. Okay? Yes, this is the fun part. That's not true. All of it is the fun part. And this is the fun part that feels like you're moving into the next section. So it's even more fun. Okay? That's the best way I can explain it. All right. So, what ways are you going to wind down today? So the way that I'm doing this right now is I'm going back over to the worksheet that we have. And there's a couple things that you want to do to finish out setting up your schedule for next week. So that is on page 8. There's a little checklist of things that you want to do. So the first thing, do one last check. make sure that after you set up your schedule for the week, that you did not forget to set in your times for rest, that you're getting ample amount of sleep, and you're having time to just daydream and like clear your mind and be in your nothing box. I love being in my nothing box. Make sure you have time in your schedule to do that. And then also make sure you've scheduled in time for fun, okay? Fun meaning that you're going dancing, that you're doing a tasting, that you're going to a new restaurant, maybe that you're taking time to read a book, maybe you're going to hang out with friends, whatever you find fun. And I hope you have a list of things that you find fun. Go do something. You don't have to spend money. This is more about prioritizing the fact that you get a chance to laugh, a chance to cuddle, a chance to run, a chance to do something that gets you out of your mind and in your body so that you can feel refreshed, or whatever ways that you feel that you do rest. There's a great post on Instagram. I don't have it ready right now, but she talks about there's different kinds of rest in all areas of our life. There's emotional rest, relational rest, personal rest, spiritual rest, like all of these different kinds of rest. Man, I'm going to find that post and I'm going to put it in the comments. I'm writing a note, post about rest, about ways to rest. That I want you to take a little bit of time after this video and make sure you look at that post and say, make a list of the different ways that you rest so that you can have yourself ready. You can have a list ready. Okay, I'm really stretched thin in the emotional area. Let me make sure that I do some rest in this area. And so what you do is in your schedule is just make sure you have time for rest scheduled out. And then when you get to that point, because when you get to that time to rest, you already have your list of things, of ways that you like to rest in each of those different types of ways to rest. And you just need to look at that list and say, oh, I need emotional rest today. Here are 3 things that I could do to get emotional rest because I've already thought about that beforehand. Now all I got to do is look at this list and take one of those things that feels good for me and do it, Do that. This is how we actually create work-life balance. These are the checks and balances that we have, that we put in place to actually help us live work-life balance, okay? So make sure you take some time to do that. All right. So that was the first checkbox on that worksheet. The next one is actually getting into the wind down. So today, closing windows on your computer. What windows are you going to close? Every week, try to close at least just one window, because it's like giving your mind, all of those windows on your computer are like having all of those windows open in your mind. When you close those windows, you're actually giving yourself more mental space, more mental freedom, and that's a beautiful thing. So check it out. Look through your windows and see which one of these can I close. I actually closed my Canva app this week, and I was like, I was giddy. I was so excited because I was like, man, I'm always in Canva. Canva is like one of my primary apps. I pay for it. It's premium. I love it, and it does so many amazing things for me. And it was so good to be able to close the app, So what things are you going to be able to close windows for this week? So that's wind down step number 1. Then wind down step number 2. Let me see. Let me scroll up here. Wind down step number 2. Take yourself to a dinner or a meal that just feels like a treat for you. Maybe for me, I don't usually, I haven't been doing a lot of eating out because I live with an amazing chef, and there's always amazing food. So I don't really go out to eat very often. But on the flip side, the amazing chef friend roommate, she also hates eating her own food. Most chefs feel like that. So another chef friend told her about this place to get a vegan sub, and they rave about it. And I'm like, I want to try this vegan sub. So I tried to get there last week, and I tried to go on a Sunday, and of course they're closed on Sunday. Then I was going to try and go on Tuesday when I got off the plane, and that didn't quite work out. So you know what, today I'm going to go get that sub after I get off of my interview in a little bit. So yes, that's what I'm going to do today. I hadn't completely figured it out, but that's exactly what I'm going to do today. Mimi's laughing at me. Yeah, I know I'm a hot mess sometimes, but hey, it keeps life fun, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do for wind down step number 2. What is the fun meal that you're going to do? What dinner, what meal are you going to do tonight to help yourself recognize we're moving into rest? Okay. Let me know. I want to know. And then the wind down step number 3, take yourself to do something fun. Now, I'm going to try and do this while I'm already out getting my meal. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do. So one of my favorite places in Charlotte, I used to live down there, but they had so much construction going on. And since I work from home, it was like beep, 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 beep all day long. And it drove me crazy. And I was like, you know what? I can't take this. I can't stand it. So I went on and I ended my lease, and that's how I live right now. Continue. Oh, we're having a technical difficulty on. Okay. Hopefully that'll reconnect. So yes. Lost track of my thought because that notification came up on the screen. So I want to do something fun while I was out. I used to live down on South End, but all of the construction made me move because I was like, I can't deal with this beeping all day long. So I used to love to just go walk around down there. I think I might just go do that. Like, just go take a walk. There's a nice rail trail, or I might find some other trails. I could do that. Maybe I'll just find a trail and go take a walk. Now, I have to double check and see how warm it is outside, because your girl is not about being out in the cold at all. And honestly, anything that's 75 below is cold to me. I know that's not cold to everybody else, but it's cold to me. So we're going to see how warm it is, and maybe we'll take that walk, and maybe we won't. Maybe I'll go do something else. But that's what I think I'm going to do. So let me know what you think you're going to do to wind down today. Either way, make sure it's something fun. Make sure it's something for you. Make sure it's something that prioritizes your joy and everything that brings out the beautiful, flowering, flourishing part of you. Okay? That's the goal of what this is supposed to be for this evening. All right. So we have done all the things. We have done all the things. And that makes me super excited. Let me check out what the new comments are here. Okay, let me see. Mimi says, I actually don't have any wind down or meal plans tonight. I'm just going to relax and keep hoping these cold systems go away. Oh, feel better, Mimi. I completely understand that. I'm not going to plan a lot of stuff for tonight either, because it was the same thing. This morning when I got up, I said, I'm going to have to tell them that I'm going to lay in bed for my wind down. And I still will. But I think a walk would be nice too. But I don't want to go to anybody's party or event because I don't have enough energy. You hear I had to blow my nose and I think I just swallowed some phlegm. Girl, I'm trying to get that stuff up out of me. So I'm with you. Taking some time to relax this evening that is totally an option. It's different when we choose that rather than when we just like default to it because we don't want to take the time to figure out how we can intentionally rest. So I applaud you for taking what you need when you need it and being intentional about it. Okay? Yes. I love it. And then you said, actually, maybe I'll go take a walk to sweat it out. Yes. Sweat that out, girl. Let it be free. Again, I hope it's not cold by you because it takes me forever to get warm. I could be walking, even jogging for a good 10 minutes before I start sweating. So I hope it's warm. And either way, maybe you do what you got to do to sweat it out, girl. But if I have to do that, I'm going to have to find a gym because I need to be inside where the heat is on. Okay. But yes, I hope you feel better. I really do. Being sick it sucks. I could tell you this little cold, cough, phlegm thing that I've had it for, oh gosh, going on 2 months now. I'm ready for it to be done. So let it be done in Jesus' name by my birthday. Okay. All right. So I love that we've gone through all of our steps. We have made a whole habit out of this. We've now been going strong on Freedom Fridays for 6 weeks. It's our 6-week anniversary. Whoop, whoop. Listen, that's me celebrating a win right now. I'm so excited that every Friday for the last 6 weeks, we've been getting together to do this. And I'm excited to keep doing it with you the whole way through. So I hope that you're enjoying this. Make sure that you come and join me next Friday as well. But before you go, I always like to share, if you have gotten really good at this and you're like, you know what? Or actually, if you've gotten really good at coming to this call, but you're like, I could tell that there's some more resources that you have available. You're right. I do. I have a amazing toolkit called the Anti-Superhero Toolkit that helps you create your time and energy budget, that helps you create your life systems so that you can actually get to the point where this weekly planning session is taken to the next level, and you're literally having all the tools that you need to create work-life balance on a regular basis. So if you're interested in that, I'd love for you to check out my Anti-Superhero Toolkit. Again, if you're on Instagram, I'm gonna have to rejigger this so you can see it. But I could tell you the website name. The website is antisuperhero.yourdreamstrategist.com. It's a 4-module toolkit course that brings everything together. You could do this in, I would say, an hour and a half. And then be ready to come back and join these work sessions every week, and know that you have all the tools you need to be 1% better at spending less time prioritizing work and more time and living your life. Like, that's exactly why we're here, right? And then, oh, wait, I gotta stop because Mimi is celebrating with me. Yes, we've been doing this for 6 weeks. I know, I'm so excited. Thank you for celebrating with me. We got to take our wins as we go, right? It's amazing. I love it. So good. So then if you've gotten good at creating work-life balance, but you're actually ready to go to the next step in creating lifestyle freedom, you're a corporate professional, you're an entrepreneur, and you're like, you know what? I love what I do, but I also want more freedom to live my life more. I want to be able to workation. I want to be able to go to LA for a week and not be off track. Like, if those are things that you want to do, maybe it's not even LA. Maybe you want to go live in Indonesia. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Or maybe you want to bop around. I would love to help you create the vision for what you want that to look like. Because once we have the vision, then what we'll do next is we'll we'll tweak your life systems, your time and energy budget. We'll work on your financial budget. We'll work on all the different pieces that you need to come together to create this lifestyle freedom, so that by the end of the 6 months of working with me inside of my program Meant for More, you will be able, well on your way, if not already fully into living the lifestyle freedom that you want. The most beautiful thing that I had happen, I had a friend say to me, wow, like, you've really got it already. And I was like, you know what? I do. Like, it ain't easy all the time. I still have struggles some days, but yeah, I have the lifestyle freedom I want. And so I want to help you get that as well. So if you are interested in that, then make sure you check out my 6-month coaching program called Meant for More. I would love to have you inside of that. And if you're interested, if you want to just know more, and you're ready to start figuring out what that plan looks like, I have a free call called the Workaholic Exit Plan call. You can look at it in my bio. And that's going together. We're going to talk about where your life is today and what you want it to be like. And we're going to map out the plan right then and there. And then it's up to you. From there, you'll have the plan. You can go and do it on your own if you want. But if you want coaching, if you want help to streamline it and make sure it happens in 6 months, and if it's a good fit for both you and I to work together, then we could talk about what it looks like for you to join my program to do that. So again, that's the program information is at meantformore.yourdreamstrategist.com. And the Workaholic Exit Plan call is a link in my link in bio. So if you want to know what the link in bio is, or if I told you a lot of information, but you're like, you know what? I don't know exactly what I need. There's a couple other freebies. I have my webinar on there. I have my ebook on there, some other great things that will help get you jump started. Check all of those out. They're on my link in bio. So that's bio.yourdreamstrategist.com. That's all the links you're going to need to get started. The YouTube video from this week, all of those things, they're already waiting for you there. So if you need that, go ahead and check that out at bio.yourdreamstrategist.com. All right. So many things. I love being here with you every single week. If there's anything I could do to help or support you, please, please, please put it in the comments. I check the comments constantly. I love building this community with you. And the way that we build the community is that we talk, that we interact. So I love when Mimi gets on the calls and has all the comments, and I want to hear from you as well. So please, please make sure you go ahead and join me. Make sure you leave comments. I love to talk to you. And if this is great for you, make sure you also like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you can be notified when we start this call again next week and the videos that I share in between. You guys are amazing. You are amazing women, amazing people. I'm so excited and so proud of you for fighting for the life that you want to live rather than just letting life give you whatever it wants. And I know that you're going to create it. So have a wonderful weekend. Yes, Mimi said, thank you, Rashida. Have a wonderful weekend too. You have a wonderful weekend too, friend. I'm so glad you're always here. All right, you guys, see you next week.